guys are a bit serious about your, dreams.
Yeah, yeah. So thank you, Raju, and thank you all of you to join here today on Sunday. Thanks again. So I'll start with my, the session on this embedded system. So I'll cover the agenda is that, as Raju told that what we are going to do in our training part, and what is the current trend in the embedded system, and what your, the expectation from this session. Okay. So first, let's start with the current, the requirement in market on embedded, resources. So most of you know that what is the future if I select embedded domain for your career, option. So here we have a picture. I think my screen is visible to all of you, I guess. And anyone of you, can you? Yeah, yeah. So this is one of the, the market trend is there currently from 2020 to 2030. You can see the screen where there is a incremental requirement in embedded outsourcing requirements. So there are a lot of, the design, prototyping, system integration, the resources are needed. There are outsources there from USA, not only from USA, even European countries are planned to outsource the, embedded work to all of the, to India and other, regions. So here you see every year there is an increase. So if you see the year 2020, it had only the 169.3 billion dollar, the outsource was there. Now it is started increasing every year. Maybe if you consider as a every year, maybe a 20% is increasing. Every year there is a 20% increase. If you see this black graph, which is the designing part of embedded, so far in India we were not doing much design part. Now we are doing. So as you know that Make in India, we are doing a lot of design activities, and we are coming up with a very innovative product in India itself, right? So this is a very futuristic domain where we will get very stable growth in every year. Definitely you will have a steady also in your career, developments. So this is what I want to tell here. And coming to prototype and system integration, this is testing. Testing, if you see that this much of requirement is there. Of course, we need a lot of resource for testing the embedded, products. So we need a quality product for our, day-to-day need things. So this quality need to assure the quality, we go for the testing requirement is too much. And of course, there is a design also, it's increased, and there is a system integration. This is also, these are all the options where you can enter into the embedded domain. Okay. So this is one of the information which you got it from the, very trusted source of information. So this is about the requirement in the embedded domain. So coming to the next, what is embedded system? I think you guys may know, may not be. If you are from different stream of your career, then you will. If you are not an embedded from electronics, stream, you may not understand what is an embedded system. But all of us, we are using embedded system in our day, in our daily life. Every day, if you see that now also you are carrying a mobile, that's your embedded system. And whenever you go to on the road, you may see the traffic light, right? This is exactly a simple example for understanding the embedded system. You guys know that traffic light will change according to your time, according to timing, and then there is a traffic police may control it. Definitely, it's options to control embedded system, but it will work automatically. So first thing is that every operation should automate. Whatever we need, things to be work automatically, which we can make it as embedded system. So that is automate. And specific, what do you mean by specific? It has to be designed for specific application. It should not work for any other operations. For example, traffic light means it should work only for traffic light requirements. It should not work for your opening door and closing door in your home. That's not an embedded system. If you want to control your door opening and closing, that's another system you need to design. So that's where the embedded system cannot be used in all the applications. It has to be very specific. That's why we see that mobile is used only for our communication, and now we are adapted for transacting the money, and we do the group call. We use multiple purpose for mobile, but in embedded also we have very specific applications. And finally, what is hardware and software? Yes, it is a combination of hardware and software. Hardware consists of your the electronic items, electronic components. You might have heard about ICs, integrated chips, and then we have a software. Software is the main part of embedded system which will drive your applications. So without software, your embedded system will not work. So that's a main part in our embedded domain. So this is where the people need for developing a software. Of course, hardware is driven by outside the India, and now we are doing in India also. But we don't need much hardware engineers. But definitely there will be requirements for the hardware also. But there are more requirement for software, because software is very very changeable at any time. So it's very specific to system. So that's why we need a more software requirements. So this is a simple embedded system. If you are able to understand, please have a look. And then coming to current trend, I think you guys know that. So the automotive industry is booming from last 5 to 6 years. So it's a lot of changes are happening in automotive industry. You may know that we are getting now electronic, electrical vehicles. Not only electrical vehicles, there is inside the car, there are a lot of embedded applications are there. You might have heard of ABS was there earlier. ABS is from last 40 years. Now we have cruise control. You may know about cruise control, right? So you no need to control the clutch and brake. You can keep just watching your steering. If you click to some of the speed of your vehicle, it will keep maintaining the same speed till disturbed by the external world, or you intentionally you stop it. That's a cruise control. We have blind spot detection in car itself. You can detect that where you are not able to see sometime. And this and again, if you see the rear camera, parking assistance feature is there in car, and lot of electronic applications are there in car itself. That's where it is needed for the our day to day life, to make our life safe also. That's why we want to have this features to be in a car. Right now you might have heard about ADAS, right? Advanced driver system, ADAS. This is a major requirement in automotive industry, and you may not get it in lower price. It should be in higher end car you'll get it. So these are all the features are which are implemented by embedded system. So if you go inside the car, you will get plenty of applications related to embedded. Still, it is changing, and still it is moving towards advanced, and getting more and more features into the car, to make the car to be very safe and easy to drive. The ultimate goal of automotive industry, I think you guys know that autonomous driver, right? So where we don't need a driver, the car should drive it automatically and should take us to our own destination, right? So I think that Tesla is already they have planned to do that. Now we have a semi autonomous drive, right? So this is the trend of automotive industry. So coming to the consumer product, of course, I think all of you may have the Apple phone, or maybe headset, wireless headset, and of course the Apple Watch and the digital camera and laptop. We have very low cost and high end laptop are there which we use for our day to day work activities. And coming to below here, you can see the plenty of electronic devices which we use in our home, from washing machines to micro oven, right? These are all made by embedded applications. I hope these are all clear for you guys. You can see in day-to-day life, right? So these are all again, don't worry, these are all maybe outdated by another 5 to 10 years. We may get very advanced machines, right? So that's where the embedded system is driving towards advance. So coming to the healthcare, yes, of course, healthcare also have very you know, uh, very high level changes are there. You might have heard about in, the MRI scans are now made very, interesting. Within 1 or 2 hours, they will get it scan report. Earlier, we need to wait for longer time. Now we have very advanced, technology there, which is made by embedded system. And the now we have digital stethoscope, and we have digital microscope. You might have seen only the manual microscope, in your college. Now we have digital. And I think interesting device, I think you might have seen that, wireless temperature measurement device, which is an innovation of embedded system. So it was used heavily in, during pandemic, right? You guys already know that in every shop they will use this wireless temperature measurement device. So that's about the healthcare. And coming to industrial automations. So I think now, I think in pandemic, a lot of people are lost job, but the industrial automation which help product manufacturing industry to make their work to be automated. So with less labor, more output they have made with industrial automations. We have robotics is there, PLCs. You might have heard about PLC, right? These are all embedded applications. Now we are moving towards advance, where we don't need more labor to work any manual job. So we just need to maintain the machines and should work automatically, correct? So this industrial manufacturing is moving towards advanced technology to make product better and better quality and reliable one. So there is the current trends in embedded system. Of course, not not less and more. We have telecommunication domain, and the final is that military. So you know about defense system, right? There also we have lot of embedded applications are developed, and they are moving towards advance. I think aeronautically, that now we have satellite where we will be sending, and we will be reusing it. So far we don't know that. Once we launch this satellite, we may not be reuse it, right? Now we are planning to reuse it. So that's the interesting point in, the aerospace domain, correct? So that's the interesting thing which I want to tell you at this moment. So this is about the what is embedded system, and what are the current trends in embedded system, and where you can, take your options to develop your career. Yeah. So coming to our part, what we are doing. So right now, I think we have a very basic and fundamental training course. First part, which is we give the fundamentals on electronics. Definitely, we might have studied in our college, but definitely we need to revise that topic. And definitely, once we are done with fundamentals, we move towards the embedded engineer, where you need to, change your, thoughts towards embedded system. So then once you converted or you transfer to embedded, then you start writing a programming part for embedded system. So we develop a embedded applications using 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit microcontrollers, and we use a very advanced the software development life cycle to make our product to be developed in a right manner, and it should be matched to the industry. So right now the current thing is that we have a gap there. There's a gap. Once you complete your engineering and once you complete work from here and there, still you are not fitted to industry, because you don't have that the process adoptions that we need to do it here. We will be doing that adoptions to industry matching process. Once we are done with, definitely we'll give an additional knowledge on the managing on your work. How do you manage? How do you start learning leadership? So you need to lead and manage your work to make your life better, and you should get more productivity in your work. Okay. And of course, once you are having all these fundamental things, then you should be able to do a real-time project. So you will be working on a real-time project to experiment and to have a hands-on on the real-time projects in embedded system, more or less into automotive, industrial automation, IoT, so many domains we can select and we can work on it. So finally, yeah, of course, even we have all this knowledge, are we ready to jump into the industry? That's where the the industrial experts will tell you, yes, they will evaluate us, they will give a feedback, yes, you are good to go to the next level. Definitely, that's where you are jumping into the industry. So that's the the path we are creating you to choose and change, and go ahead with this path to reach your destination. So here I think you, as I told you that the market capture right now in in I think it's quite difficulty to understand this mathematical things and these words. So right, there are just, if you see that from 2018 there are 15% electronic consumer segment was increased, and 4% automotive sector is increased, and real time segment also 9% increased. So there is always 5 to 10% increase in market, right? You might have seen a lot of embedded application in the market. So that's where the we see the future of embedded system. So finally, if you are done, I think definitely you get a job on the good company. What is next? So definitely don't think that we will live there only. We'll just still help you to sail through the further career development. We provide you a free workshop on the new technologies in a weekly basis or maybe monthly basis, and definitely we'll mentor you in the back end. It's a case by case. We'll develop your career development plans, and definitely those who are interested to a leadership, definitely will have a Toastmaster club, which you maybe know that the Toastmasters club will help to develop your the leadership skills. And of course the basic need is interpersonal skill is required, like how to write a mail, how to attend a meeting, how to talk to people, and how do you interact with them, how to create a network yourself. Okay, those things definitely needed for all of us. And finally, you will be connecting to a professional network. So this is how we are going to do and training in this Bitforce. So that's about the sessions which I want to share here. And thank you. Any questions can taken by Raju, or any information can be shared by Raju. I'll hand over to Raju. So meanwhile, think about any questions. Definitely, we'll answer for it.